Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation Season 2, Episode 0, Guardian Fitz, is a single episode of standard length that's meant to probably, I assume, be watched before starting Season 2. It's a bit of a prequel that sort of explains how Sylphie got to be where she was, where we see her in sort of like, I think, the end credits scene of Season 1, where essentially after the, Mana disaster, I think it was called, she ends up like basically getting teleported mid-air above like a royal palace where she gets adopted by a lesbian princess who sort of kidnaps her to be her bodyguard as a replacement for her other bodyguard that got gored by a giant boar. It's really random, actually, now that I'm saying this out loud, but I guess that's what happened. Also, during the fall, Sylphie's hair turns white, and this episode doesn't say why that happened. I will say that her Mal profile claims it was mana exhaustion, so let's go with that, although I don't think that term is thrown out at any point during this episode. I'm sure we know this because of the light novel, but I need to be clear that I'm not reviewing the light novel. Anyway, the princess ends up in a scenario where she's currying too much favor, making too big of the money moves, and so her older brother, who's in line for the throne, feels like she's a threat to his power, and so she ends up almost getting assassinated by an assassin, and they end up having to sort of leave the palace. She ends up resolving to take control of the country, and that's basically what happens. I mean, I'm leaving out some details and shit for you to enjoy at home and all that shit, but no, I mean, that's like the crux of what happens. There really isn't too much to talk about. This is a lot of setup. This is a lot of catching up with Sylphie, and even then, I still feel like we're probably not all the way there, but I guess we'll see how well this sets up when we get into Season 2 proper. Other than that, this is an enjoyable enough experience. One thing I will throw out there is that it looks really grainy and low resolution on Crunchyroll, and I'm not sure if this was a stylistic choice to make it look like it was happening in the past, or if Crunchyroll is just shit, and I almost lean towards the latter. But regardless, I will withhold judgment from that, and I just want to point it out. The episode itself is pretty good. Twitch and Discord in the description. I've been Sacrobolic, your envoy of hope. Bye-bye.